from there we will move in, and here comes the first introductory slide. I've got three distinguished guests this evening with me. I've got Anand Prakash Sharma ji from the Birla Public School Doha. We have got Shri Pramod Mahajan ji, Principal, Director, Sharja Indian School. And we have got Shri V.R. Palaniswamy ji, who is a Principal, the Indian School, Kingdom of Bahrain. A very hearty welcome to our distinguished guests. And at the same time, ladies and gentlemen, all boys and girls and all elders and all teachers, educators, counselors, and of course, technical people, because they give the support for this program. We extend a very hearty welcome to all of you. So ladies and gentlemen, before we start the evening and I hand you over to Anand Prakash Sharma ji for having today's entire deliberations, I wish to share a couple of slides with all of you so that we all are on the common frequency and we understand what exactly are we doing. 30 million non-resident Indians at present abroad, and our chamber since 1994. We deeply associated initially with the Punjabi Parvasi Divas and 2003 onwards with the Bharati Parvasi Divas. So 30 million Indians abroad in different countries. Focus is service industry from our chamber. Of course, other chambers are taking care of manufacturing and agriculture sector as well. And we are focusing on service industry, and we are focusing on non-resident Indians world over. Monday to Friday, 7 to 8 p.m., we talk about making education relevant. And as far as Saturday is there, that is Ayurveda for global wellness. Now, during this lockdown, during this coronavirus, during this pandemic, the thought processes are affected. Business is affected. Physical and mental health is also affected. And the main part is that the entire universe, when we talk about, as per the UNESCO, almost 1.86 billion youth world over, when we talk about, they are being affected. Those are unable to go to their school, institutions, colleges, universities, polytechnic. India believes in whatever best we can do together, all of us, because the entire world is one family. It is a Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. One world, one love, one family, all of us together. We got to move on that way. Today, the Honorable Prime Minister addressed the entire nation in India, and he talked about higher education, where more than 1,000 vice chancellors, Ministry of Education, all the stakeholders, AICT, UGC, National Council for Teacher Education, AIU, and NCRT, NIPA, and a couple of other organizations, they all were together. At length, he discussed about that the new education policy 2020, which is getting implemented in India now, and which is coming with lots of deliberations and thought process. And they have gone right up to the village level, and up to 4.5 years, and 5 years almost this present government took. And finally, having taken the consent right up to the panchayat and the block level, this particular program has come up. And when you talk shifting from earlier 10+2 to 5+3+3+4, so our distinguished guests, they all will discuss with you today, and they will also share with us in this new education policy, what could be the challenges and how do we overcome that. Our chamber during this coronavirus period, we are at present taking care of, we are trying to reach out electronically. We are doing the beaming to the different countries, and we are so happy to share that we are trying to help out the teachers, the youth, the educators, the technocrats, and the skill gaps, whatever we have got in the entire ecosystem of the education. We are from morning 9 till this webinar finishes. Our chamber goes live every day, Monday to Sunday. There is no holiday because we don't believe in a holiday. And ultimately, the vision is that how technology is going to shape the future of education and what all can be taken over there. We started this journey in a very humble way on 5th of June, that's World Environment Day. Because all the research which our chamber has gathered world over, it conveys that the next misunderstanding world over and the next crisis, and where there is going to be a lot of clashes, that's going to be on the water. There's going to be a scarcity of water. There's going to be so much of shortage of water. So we got to be having a water conservation, Jal Sanrakshan. At present, children are at home. So parents, we would request you, अपने बच्चों को जल की हर बूंद बचाने का पूरा प्रयास कीजिए. उन्हें सिखाइए कि घर के बाथरूम में, घर के किचन में, घर के पूरे कमरों में, हर जगह में, कपड़े धोने में, वॉश बेसिन्स में, टूथब्रश करने में, शेविंग करने में, नहाने में, कहाँ कहाँ पर पानी बच सकता है. और जो भी नई पेडागोजीज आप लेके आ सकते हैं, नए इनोवेशंस लेके आ सकते हैं आज के प्रोसेस में भी, क्योंकि आनंद प्रकाश शर्मा जी इज वेरी फॉन्ड ऑफ, एंड आई ऑलवेज से दैट जब भी जूम वेबिनार वाले कोई इंटरनेशनल अवार्ड देंगे, so they will give to Anand Prakash Sharma ji, because he makes optimum use of the chat box and all these suggestions which come from the world over. He tries to gather and tries to involve the audience the best possible way. That is the art and the craft he has got, and that's something is wonderful. So we would request each one of you, if you have got any ideas on water conservation, how it is to be done at home right now, please do share in the chat box today. We would be more than happy, and we all can share with each other. Now, ladies and gentlemen, from water conservation, when we are talking about which we started this journey, women empowerment is another area which we are focusing on. Because when you give education to a girl child, you don't educate one generation, but when you are educating male member, you are educating individual. But when you are educating girl child, you are educating 7 subsequent generations. It is very important that every girl child has to be empowered the best possible way. Now, ladies and gentlemen, Monday to Friday, making education relevant, totally focused on, like you have got today's evening. But when I talk about Saturday morning, we talk about Buddham Saranam Gacchami. You will have tomorrow morning, 9:30 from world over, 500 million plus people, followers of Buddhism. They would be joining us from world over. And I'm thankful to Ashok Wangdi ji, as well as to Secretary General, International Buddhist Confederation, Venerable Dr. Dhammapiya ji. They try and get international fraternity from the world over in the entire ecosystem. I'm grateful to all of them. There's so much to learn from them. And at the same time, why this program? Because we are trying to find out what is Buddha's teaching, relevance in today's education system, whether school education or higher education. Comes Saturday evening, Ayurveda for the global wellness. Every Saturday, we have got great evening, 7 to 8 p.m. Comes Sunday morning, we talk with you all the Indian Upanishads. At present, we are having Professor Satyendra Dhiman coming every Sunday morning from Woodbury University, United States, Burbank, Los Angeles, and he is sharing with us Shrimad Bhagavad Gita. What is the relevance of Shrimad Bhagavad Gita in today's education system? That is something very important which we are taking care of. Then comes Sunday evening, 5 p.m. I'm emphasizing 5 p.m. because there's something new which is coming today. So 5 p.m. we share with you India, ASEAN, all the 10 countries, 650 million population right over there, how India and ASEAN can grow together. Now, on the request from the world over, because during this pandemic coronavirus, the MSME sector has suffered maximum. So micro, small and medium enterprise, every Sunday, from this Sunday, 7 p.m., like you have got Monday to Friday education, Saturday you have got wellness, yoga, Ayurveda, and you have got meditation, naturopathy, nutrition, organic. So Sunday evening, we will talk with you, the micro, small and medium enterprise, the youth, those are interested to start any new business, what all is going on, what are the government policies, what are the new ventures, what are the new avenues, what all is coming through, That is going to be the 84th webinar of ours on Sunday evening. You'll be able to meet us at 7 p.m. And I'm thankful to Ravindranath ji, who is former CMD of the NSIC from the Ministry of MSME, who has taken the responsibility and shouldering this particular vision, and he's going to get the visionary from the MSME together. Comes 12th of August, Wednesday. It's a World Youth Day. From the world over, all the youth from the different countries, let's get together. 9 a.m. in the morning to 9 p.m. We want to hear the youth. We want to hear the youth voice. We want to have the dance, the music, and we want to have the celebration, jubilation, congratulation, everything related to youth, whether school education, or you talk from the college or the polytechnic or the ITIs, or you talk about anything, including the gamification, the music notes, everything coming. So World Youth Day, we extend you a very warm invitation. Do join us on that particular day. We want to get from the world over the participation of the people. So ladies and gentlemen, let me move from there. This is the last slide as far as ICSI, the slide is sharing is concerned. Whatsoever human mind can conceive and believe, that means you got to conceive the idea, you got to believe in the idea, then you can achieve the idea. So ladies and gentlemen, all my brothers and sisters and all my children and grandchildren, wherever you are world over, conceive the idea. You have a creativity, come out with the new idea. And when you have the creativity and when you have the new idea, start believing in that you can achieve that idea. Let's come together. Let's make education relevant, all of us together. Making education relevant, global confluence of educators, motivators, technocrats, and counselors from world over, ladies and gentlemen. It's a confluence, it's a padlock. इस हवन कुंड में सबकी सामग्री है और हर शुक्रवार को शाम को मिडिल ईस्ट से आनंद प्रकाश जी आनंद ही आनंद देते हैं, प्रकाश ही प्रकाश देते हैं. एंड ही सेज, आनंद प्रकाश के नाम से मुझे कोई नहीं जानता. डॉक्टर शर्मा, माय नेम इज एपी शर्मा. पीपल नो मी विद दैट नेम. सो Anand Prakash Sharma ji, AP Sharma ji, we are so grateful to you. Every time you are bringing new visionaries, you're getting a distinguished guest from the Middle East. I'm so grateful to you. 12 तारीख को भी हमारे बहुत सारे टीचर्स को और युवा पीढ़ी को लेके आइए मिडिल ईस्ट से. सब टीचर लोग जितने भी हैं, I think there are more than 250 or 300, I think, schools which are located in the entire Middle East, which comes under CBSE and all. Let's get all of us together and work it out. So kindly, if you wish to be a panelist or you want to send any suggestion, send at the innovation@icsi.asia. Should you wish to call us on the WhatsApp, both the numbers are listed over here. And ladies and gentlemen, like every evening, we get 6 small kiddies. They are my kids only. I can talk. So under the women empowerment, today you will be meeting 6 girls from the northeast part of India. Northeast is a beautiful part of India. The Honorable Prime Minister of India calls it Ashtalakshmi. The 8 beautiful states over there. You got Tripura, Assam, Manipur, Meghalaya, Sikkim, Nagaland, Mizoram, Arunachal Pradesh. All the states are so beautiful and our children are so good, so good, so good. And I always pray to Almighty in my next birth, because I'm not going to get moksha. I know it very well. I have to come back on this planet. If I have to come back, I would like to be born in the northeast part of India. What a beautiful place. So ladies and gentlemen, let me share, and like it happens in the media entertainment industry, you get the awards of the evening, like doctors, like nurses, like paramedical, they all are warriors. These educators are also warriors. These educators are also trying to reach out the children. They're trying to reach out the humanity wherever it is possible. And they come and they share their thought process, their experiences, the new pedagogies, innovations, creativity, and so much they share with us the vision. Yesterday, you heard Professor M.M. Pant. I'm getting so many feedbacks. And at the same time, ladies and gentlemen, this evening, Anand hi Anand, Prakash hi Prakash, and we have got AP Sharma ji, who is joining us, Principal, Birla Public School from Doha. He has got more than 30 years experience as a leader, academician, principal, parenting expert. CBSE and National Awardee from President of India 2012, Global Teachers Award 2015, Award for the Women Empowerment from UNESCO, and Delhi Commission for Women 2016. Academicians of the Decade for the WEF 2016, Exemplary Leadership Award from our former President of India, Shri Pranab Mukherjee 2018, and many more awards and laurels. Authored many articles on education and parenting, conducting more than 300 workshops for parents, principals, and teachers. I'm going to increase this number because you are organizing so many programs. I think it has already crossed somewhere 400. I'm going to change this figure next time because I don't want to carry out this figure only, because so much you are doing from morning till evening. You're trying to reach out the best possible way. Ladies and gentlemen, this evening we have also been joined by Shri Pramod Mahajan Ji. He's a Principal School Director, Sharja Indian School, UAE. We extend him a very hearty welcome. He's joining us for the first time. And he has got a beautiful backdrop at the back. And I was telling him, I'm reminded of 1981 at the backdrop. When you will see him, you will enjoy. There was a movie which was, I was remembering, हम बने तुम बने एक दूजे के लिए एक दूजे के लिए. That was the movie. Kamala Hassan and Riti Agnihotri. That was a wonderful movie. So the backdrop which he is carrying, it was a Lakshmikant Pyaralal's music, and that was a combination of North and South together. So today we are having the global fraternity together. So ladies and gentlemen, that backdrop is very good. So Pramod Mahajan Ji, total teaching experience approximately 32 years with 14 years as the CBSE school principal. Core member of the community volunteer team, education wing office of the council, journal CGI India, Dubai, UAE. Core member of the working group of education wing of the office of ambassador, the embassy of India, Abu Dhabi, UAE. A recipient of many prestigious awards and recognitions at national and international level for his extensive contribution in educational field. We extend you a very hearty welcome, Ik Duje Ke Liye, because now that kind of backdrop you have got, we extend you a very hearty welcome, and hum dono Ik Duje Ke Liye, hum bane tum bane Ik Duje Ke Liye. Sure. And this evening, such a wonderful to have you with us. Hearty welcome to you, Pramod Mahajan Ji.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have also been joined by Shri Palaniswamy Ji. He's a principal, the Indian School, Kingdom of Bahrain. And I was sharing with him when we were into the waiting room that in Bahrain, approximately 270 families join us every day. And there's a lady who worked with this chamber for years together and brought the chamber to the present status, Mrs. Geeta Chopra. And our husband is Rajneesh Chopra. They are in Bahrain. So we extend a very hearty welcome to Shri Palaniswamy Ji this evening. Hearty welcome to you. Pleasure to have you with us. He is the principal of the Indian School since 2011. He has a teaching experience of more than 35 years. इन लोगों का इतना ज़्यादा experience है और देखने में इतने यंग लगते हैं. पता नहीं कौन से बादाम खाते हैं ये लोग, मामीरा गिरी खाते हैं, क्या खाते हैं मिडिल ईस्ट में, या डेट्स खाते हैं, खजूर खाते हैं, क्या करते हैं मुझे नहीं पता है, या किशमिश खाते हैं. I got to find out today. I got to go Anand Prakash ji in detail of it. He has got more than 20 years of experience in education management. He has authored 17 textbooks on mathematics for class 1 to 12th. Wow, it's Aryabhat's family. Wow. He was the team leader for the production of interactive CDs on mathematics for primary and the middle school children. Served as the resource person for educational television and anchored many educational and medical programs on Doordarshan. I'm so happy. He is the management representative for quality management system of the school ISO 9001, and that is 2008. He's a recipient of the CBSE Best Teacher Award and many other, including National Teacher Awards. A very hearty welcome to Palaniswamy Ji also this evening joining us. So ladies and gentlemen, like it happens in the media entertainment industry, why not we should also celebrate like it happens, like anchor says, ladies and gentlemen, this evening's award, the best actor, best actresses and all. So ladies and gentlemen, here I bring to you the best educators of the Middle East, and I hand over the mic to Shri Anand Prakash Sharma ji, the principal, Birla Public School Doha, to take on this particular forum further. And hearty welcome to all of you, all the dignitaries, and all my 6 kiddies also, those who have joined us from the Northeast. Hearty welcome, sir. Please take care.
Thank you very much, Dr. Gulshan. It's a very, very important forum, and we are so pleased to be here. And the Friday fixture has been fixed for me after 1 or 2 sessions. That's so nice of you. And I'm telling you truth that okay, I'm doing so many webinars here and there, but coming to this particular webinar session in ICSI, it's always an honor, because we here are addressing many thousands of people all over the world, and you are doing a yeoman service. Amazing. So my special welcome to Mr. Pramod Mahajan and Mr. Palaniswamy ji, and all the participants over here, all the attendees here, and all those who are viewing it through YouTube or Facebook. To all of them from different part of the world, a very good evening, or whatever. Namaskar. Namaskar is good because it is applicable for all times in the day. So very interesting thing is that right now, today there was an address of Honorable Prime Minister Mr. Narendra Modi to the nation regarding the education policy. But yes, certainly it was a layman idea of the whole policy. Still, most of the people in India are anxious to know what all are going to happen. And most important thing, that what are the outcomes of this particular education policy. Undoubtedly, this is a very ambitious education policy and is going to change the spectrum of education in India, because this is the first time after 1986 that we are moving away from that particular traditional method where we wanted to know what, and we are moving to how. This is very important, that what to learn is not so important, is how to learn is more important. And basically in this process, if we know about, then we get to know the intricacies of this education policies. And most of the attendees who will listen today, they will certainly find out, and they will certainly be able to assess that what are the outcomes expected. And since all of you know that right now the things will get more clear when in March 2021, NCERT will come with the national curriculum framework. Then we will understand what all is there in curriculum, what content is there, how this is going to be delivered, and very interestingly. So the basic thing is that one very good thing that has happened, and it is admirable, is that foundation education, that 5 years of foundation education is very important. And it is known that this is the age group between 3 to 8, where the 90 to 95% of the brain is developed, and the neurons are in this form where you can do weeding also. This means the good habits can be formed, and if bad habits, anything is there, can be weeded out. Otherwise, it becomes very difficult when you are in teens or other adult or in any other age group. It is very difficult to unlearn and relearn, and all this we can talk, but it is difficult. But if you have a habit, to think that, oh, I can learn, then undoubtedly. So this is really admirable. And of course, Dr. Kasturi Ranjan ji and his team has done remarkable work in the foundation education. I will talk further on that. But certainly, I will move to Mr. Pramod Mahajan to talk about, after the foundation education, what are the ideas he think will be very crucial to improve NEP and to put it into, because this is just a kind of a structure. You can have many hopes about this, but what should be inside, the whole concrete, the whole masala, that is very important. So I will take up Mr. Mahajan, that just tell us about the preparatory, and then I will come back to you for the secondary and senior secondary. Over to Mr. Mahajan.
Yeah. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Namaskar, namaskaram. Assalamu alaikum. So let us start like Dr. Gulshan Sharma ji. At this age, the enthusiasm and the energy. And I'm very happy today that one of the mentors of mine, Anand Prakash Sharma ji, is here and we are sharing the same platform first time. So I'm reminded of 2-3 lines about the Indian educators. And then I will come to the preparatory level and all. हम मचलते हैं तो तूफान मचल जाते हैं, हम उफनते हैं तो समंदर उफन जाते हैं, हमें बदलने की कोशिश ना करो दोस्तों, इंडियन एजुकेटर्स है, हम बदलते हैं तो इतिहास बदल जाते हैं. So now it's a time to change the history. Preparatory stage, early childhood care education. It's the first time it is happening that NCERT will be framing the curriculum for the kids. So preparatory level, we have to take care of those 5 years. As Sri A.P. Sharma ji has very rightly said that the neuron flow within that 8 years of age has decided the thing. Now those days were gone when we are forcing the child to mug up Johnny, Johnny, yes, Papa. He doesn't know what is Johnny, what is Papa, and what is anything. Now there will be a streamlining of those neuron flow. 3 years, nursery, KG1, KG2, or Anganwadi. 2 years, that is grade 1 and grade 2. The students will be prepared for, they will instill with the prerequisites to go ahead for the preparatory level, that is 3rd, 4th, and 5th. So that will be the stage. Now the thing arises, there are a lot of confusions coming up, whether which language, state language, or what language. See, this language and all are the medium only, medium of instruction. It is not the end. So there is no question of what medium and what medium of instruction and what language. It is about the pathway. The NEP is a document and national curriculum framework will be designed for that preparatory level, which will force the child to think beyond, which will force the child to be ready for the vocational education, which will force the child to be thinking critically. Critical thinking is somewhat closer with the original thought process. What should be the outcome? The final outcome, will come to that. The final outcome will be what? A plumber who is good at dancing will become a doctor. So skill, education, knowledge, knowledge economy, linkage with the job, that will be the outcome. Now, for the preparatory level, they have to follow the 3 language formula. According to me, whatever be the local language you are taking, you should give the weightage to the mother tongue, or you should give the weightage of the mother of all the languages, and that is nothing else but the Sanskrit. So Sanskrit is that language which is given birth to all sort of language, and that is well established fact. In the NASA, one of the research paper was published, and the name of that researcher is Rick Brock. He quoted that the Sanskrit is more helpful for designing the computer for the artificial intelligence. So now in the NEP, that scope is there. But at the same time, there is a challenge, because we have to discuss the challenges towards that. The challenge is to change the mindset of the parents, to change the mindset of the students, to take them away from that. So outcome is guaranteed if the mindset is changed. Outcome is guaranteed if the road map is followed properly. Outcome is guaranteed if this education field, preparatory level, has to be taken out from the bureaucracy and it should be led by the educationist. That is one of the challenge. Whether the bureaucrats will lead or the educationist will lead, that's the question mark. So that is a big challenge which is coming to be in the future. So that has to be taken care of. No doubt there is a flexibility of the subject, multidisciplinary aspects are there. We'll come to that level. Now, another thing is in India, our nature is what? Federal nature. We are democratic. Now, one state, suppose that I am from Madhya Pradesh. There are 5 to 10 different languages are there. Now, if I have to switch over to Maharashtra, or I have to switch over to Bengal, or I have to switch over to any other country, will the language should be boundary for me? Shall I not cross the boundaries? So if I have to cross the boundaries, I should be strong in the language which is given birth to all other language. What I mean to say, we should give more weightage to the Sanskrit and we should follow the English also. 3-language formula and teaching in mother tongue due to up to the 8th standard, 5th, 6th, 7th, that is going on in the state government schools. But now the situation is what? Number of state government schools are reducing. Number of students in the state government schools are reducing. The private schooling is increasing because of what? Again, the same thing. They are providing that which is required for the industry, which is required for the job. So we have to make the education job oriented. Only knowledge and only skill, if that is not providing the job, will not be proper. So these preparatory years, we have to induce the prerequisites within a child in such a manner that the knowledge should be there, skill should be there, as well as there should be a linkage with the job industry, with the knowledge-based economy, and that is possible with this policy. But the challenge is it should be shifted from bureaucratic to realistic. It should be switched over for bureaucracy to educators. It should be full autonomy to be given and full ownership to be given to the teachers as well as to the students. If that hurdle is overcome, then the things will happen. See, if India has to become a Vishwaguru, we have to understand that our ancient gurus, they were the knowledge seekers and they were exploring external and internal world. But within these 50, 60 years, what happens? We started questioning only. There is a more weightage on the questioning and answering. But now it's a time of inquiry. Now it's a time of exploration. We have to answer those questions which are yet to be asked. We have to think about those technology which are yet to be invented. Ultimately, for what we are preparing the child. In the preparational stage, we are preparing the child to apply the content in the unknown situation. So that is my input for the preparatory level. And slowly we'll go ahead.
So since I was discussing the foundation level, it was blessing in disguise. One of the blessing in terrible disguise during the pandemic, that parent has come closer to the child and at home they are helping. They are helping in education to the school.
Yes.
This was very much required, and this one positive change is very essential because it is very important that during these formative years, parents should also be talking in same way the school is talking.
Yes.
It is very important that in education, they are stakeholders and they should not think that we have paid the money. Now this is the duty of the school to groom my child. No, grooming is 24-hour grooming. 24-hour grooming means school grooming as well as home grooming.
Yes.
Now at this level, if child is asking question at home and parent is not answering the question or snubbing, then child will not ask question in school.
Mm-hmm.
If child will not ask a question, then there will be so many learning gaps. That's why in foundation level, lot of things
important
are to be changed. And there are so many principals and teachers and professors in the attendees, among the attendees. It is very important. And now everybody is waiting. Let the NCF come, let the guidelines come, then we will start. Why we are waiting for those guidelines? We should start right now. Who makes guidelines? People will make guidelines, educationists will make guidelines, and I salute all the attendees and teachers, whosoever is listening. You are capable of doing everything and anything. Start working for that. That what kind of things at elementary level or foundation level we have to introduce so that not too much of memorization is taking place, rather child is understanding different kind of logic. You know it very well that child sometime by mistake touches a naked wire or the plug. After that, he will not go close to that. But
Yes.
that is not way of teaching. The way of teaching is something else. That you make the child learning certain kind of experiences where he can ask questions. And there should be discussions. Then child will have a habit to ask question. I will ask a question to attendees like always. How many of you think that we should wait for the guidelines of the government, that what should be the changes, what should be the new things in the foundation level, or we should start? So if you think that we should wait for the government, write A. And if you think we are capable and we can start putting up our efforts from the March onwards in the new session, then write B. Yeah, B is coming. A has also come. Professor S.C. Sharma is writing A. B.C. Sharma ji. Oh, B, yeah, very good. So very nice message is going on here. First of all, nobody will tell you that you are capable of something. Rather, whenever things will come, the policies will come, they will always doubt on the capability of teachers. Right now, also on every channel, in every webinar, most of the educationists are doubting. But please remember, teacher is having one most important skill, and that is to adapt and adopt. And this particular pandemic has proved it, that Indian teachers can do amazing in the world. They are unparalleledly great. Only thing is they have to realize, you know, in Epic of Ramayana, Hanumanji was not knowing that he is capable of just going through this particular ocean or sea. That was some Jatayu who told that you can do it. So don't consider me Jatayu. Your sense and your inner sense and your conscious is the Jatayu who is telling you that you can do. So the thing is, don't wait for government, because what will happen if you will ask them the lines, means basically the timeline. Timeline means this education policy in full-fledged way will take
040.
10 years, things will change. And if you will not start changing right now, then all of a sudden you can't change. So it's better before somebody else is telling you to change, you start changing for a better tomorrow. My salute to all teachers that during these days, whatever you are doing, that is most important skill. You must teach that particular child who is of the age of 3, 4, 5. Do not underestimate them. Many of you are here whose children or grandchildren are of this 3, 4, 5 age group, and you have given them mobile or iPad. They know better than you at this particular age how to use it. All the applications they know better than you. So every next generation is taking less time to learn and relearn. So this is the time that you have to unlearn few things. The teachers must unlearn few things, and they have to learn just one thing, that they are capable. Please remember, technology can't replace teacher. Technology will not replace teacher. Only those teachers who are technically good will replace those teachers who are not technically good. So take care, empower yourself. Then you can't be replaced. You can't be replaced by any technology. Mr. Palaniswamy is the maths expert. And just I will ask him a question, that in middle education, that is a big change. And if I have to look at this particular NEP, I am quite sure that this particular addition of vocational education right from class 6 is going to change the perception of every Indian student. Because right now in pandemic, what happened? Most of the people lost the job and they are staying at home. But there are few who came from villages. They are not. I know last time also I gave the example. There is a PhD scholar and was a professor in one of the Andhra University. She is selling fruits and she's happy. Okay, I'm running my house. But there is no shame in doing alternate work which you can do. And if you have another vocational skill, you can always do. So over to you, Palaniswamy ji. Unmute yourself and just. Sir, unmute. Palaniswamy ji, unmute yourself. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Mr. Sharma. Let me thank Mr. Sharma for selecting me as one of the panelists And also I thank ICSI for having me on the panel today. Greetings to all the viewers, particularly children, teachers, educators, parents, and also the educational leaders who are attending this session. In addition to what Mr. Sharma spoke about the vocational education at the middle school level, let us just get into this to the basic of the middle school education. This is the age group where the children are kept in a very crucial stage of their life. They are undergoing lot of physiological, psychological, emotional changes, one side. And the other side, this is the stage where they are put into a situation where they have to grasp and observe all the basics and fundamentals of the core subjects like mathematics, science, social science, etc., etc. And this is where, knowingly or unknowingly, the entire system compels them to get into the rote learning. Either you understand it or not, try to understand, otherwise go for mugging up. So this is the situation where the children are put into. So therefore, I'm very sorry to say that practically, when we take the statistics, if we take the statistics, you will be, definitely we will be shocked to note that more than 75% of this age group are tend to indulge in rote learning. Who has to be blamed? That is out of our topic now. But we must salute the team formulated the new education policy for Government of India for revamping the entire educational setup, particularly the primary, that's the preparatory level, middle school level. All the suggestions, all the policies that are laid will be applicable for this age group and for this stage. The reason is, as I told you, this is the stage at which the children has to definitely make a strong foundation for higher learning, grasping, absorbing, understanding, and forming and developing all the skills that are required for their higher learning in math, science, etc., including the languages. So therefore, the suggestions which are given by the NEP, like experiential learning through interactive classes, becomes more meaningful. And the transformation of the pedagogy of teaching learning process will definitely have an impact when the experiential learning and also the interactive classes are coming to practice. Very simple to say, let's go for experiential learning, let's go for interactive classes. Yes. To go for an experiential learning or experiential teaching learning process, it looks as two words, but it's not so. We need definitely the trained teachers who are with an open mindset to ensure that whatever they convey to the children are clearly understood by them and they are capable of converting it into skills. Also, every teacher must understand that any knowledge, any concept finally gets into a shape of skill. So therefore, this is where the teachers need to be trained. Yes, we rightly said, learn to learn. Here, learn to teach, how to convert the concepts and knowledges into skills is the need of the time for any apex body to look into and train the teachers. We must salute the teachers of the current teachers with whatever the resources available, with whatever the facilities available. They are indulging into this practice with all the teaching aids which are possible to formulate within the resources available. They are bringing it to the classroom, and they are definitely putting it to the best of their capacity. Now, so this is where the policy makers and the national curriculum framework has to target and ensure that the teachers are given an education where they will be able to convert the concepts and the knowledge, basic knowledge, into the process in which the skills are developed. Once if it is done, then definitely this experiential learning and interactive classes definitely will be very much successful. So therefore, what I meant to say is the educational technology has to be made very clear to the teaching community to ensure that the experiential learning practice and the interactive classes become very objective and successful. That's my humble idea. Then coming back to the vocational education. Yes, vocational education is not new to us. I remember when I was in 6th standard, 7th standard, 8th standard, I was made to do some gardening. I was made to go for a little bit of carpentry work here and there in my school. But slowly, it is, again, nobody can be blamed. It all went away from the system. Now again coming back. Now therefore, but again you see, when we think about vocational education, the first trade that comes into our mind is either carpentry or gardening. No, the concept of this vocational education has to be redefined, and in my opinion, minimum of 100 plus vocational subjects can be brought in, and the children can be introduced with all these vocational subjects right from class 6 to 8. Very easy to say. Infrastructure and human resources. Mobilizing human resources and mobilizing the infrastructure is very, very important. But as Mr. Sharma sir told, here nothing is impossible. If we visualize and if we decide to do something, nothing stops us. So therefore, it is the mindset of the educators, it's the mindset of the education leaders, the mindset of the educational managers to invest on these kind of things. If we really want to switch over from rote learning, information storage makers into the skill-based individuals who can contribute and who is really the doers, not as information storage machines. Now coming to this, again, in our system, when it comes to the vocational education, what I feel sincerely is that, let me take a little more time on explaining it. Now the science, maths and other subjects are popular because after 12th when you go, your career path and the profession is very well defined when you know these subjects. Physics, chemistry, maths, if you know, you can become an engineer. Biology, physics, chemistry, no, you can become a doctor. Accountancy, commerce, economics, if you know, you can become a chartered accountant. What if I learn 1 or 2 occasional subjects after my +2, or maybe very rare opportunities for me to go further? But do we have the openings for the vocational education subjects at the higher education level? So therefore, what I feel is we must think in a different way. Instead of starting the vocational courses from 6th standard onwards, simultaneously start from 6th standard, start introducing vocational education from 6th standard, and also try to explore some possibilities of bringing in higher education courses in the university level and college level, so that Those people, those who are taking the vocational subjects now in the middle school level, will be inspired, that they know that yes, yeah, definitely there is an option for us, nothing will go waste. Though we are learning a skill, but we can perfect it. There is a room for mastering it through the formal education. So this confidence, if it is given, definitely vocational education will not fail. That's what my humble submission. So
Thank you.
therefore what I feel is that yes, whenever we bring in a change in the lower level, please see the adequate changes, the appropriate opportunities are created at the higher level too. So therefore, this is middle school is a very crucial stage. If NEP is applied the way it is formulated, and if NCF comes with the proper guidelines to implement it with management of proper time, with management of inclusion of all these subjects along with the mainstream subjects, definitely vocational education will be a successful one. Thank you very much, Mr. Sharma. This is my initial ideas.
Yeah, it was very good, because now CBSE has introduced coding from class 6 onwards, and then I already given a suggestion to NCRT about this, that with coding they have to put certain kind of things like AI, which is progressive in nature, which will keep changing, and there is a continuous progression. However, coding, you know how many times the computer language has changed. Every time now we have come to Python. Before it was Java, and prior to that there was C++, C, and all those things will change. And in Indian education system, generally what happens, that one thing has come, then for 20 years it will not change, books will not change, course will not change, teacher will also not try to learn. So I have given a suggestion, and one very important suggestion I have given vocational education to NCRT before when this policy was formulated. I was also one of the member in giving certain kind of suggestions, not directly, but yes, vocational education not only from class 6th. I want to say that it should start even from class 3, because vocational education is not to give you an alternate job, but rather to teach you certain kind of lessons in life. First lesson, to be humble. Second lesson, there is dignity of labor, which is most important thing. If you can recollect, when I was in class 3, in my age, I can still recollect, we were given takli. You know takli, from takli we used to make sooth. In class 3, takli, and we used to enjoy. And we were shown charkha. Now this charkha, takli, and there was one more instrument I forgot. We used to make a knitting kind of something in class 3, 4. Now these things were telling us certain kind of lessons to be learned in life. One is dignity of labor. Second thing, few skills, and that too related to science. Takli, you can teach lot many examples of science. Similarly, from charkha, lot many examples of science. So the basic idea of vocational education is to keep yourself close to the basic education. Now, most of children who are studying in schools in metro cities are unaware about the farming. They are unaware about what farmer is doing, what is gardening, not that much, just limited to kitchen garden and all. And even certain kind of things like rehat and dhekuli and those kind of things, these are the basic examples of physics, how to learn. So the idea is to create certain kind of environment by observation if they can learn. So very soon, I was listening to Dr. Vineet Joshi just 2 hours back, and he gave one wonderful suggestion that in most of the classes right from beginning, tell them to observe. And in my design thinking workshop, I always emphasize on observation. That give them one video to show that what is happening. Maybe a piston is working, maybe a machine is working, maybe something very simple is, and then child is observing what is happening, and then ask child why it is happening. So instead of injecting knowledge into it, if he gets the knowledge through interference, that is something different. Like we used to see that a child is learning by his own mistakes. will never forget that particular thing. Similarly, a child will learn by own ideas, or by just kind of a teacher being a facilitator will be able to do great things in life. So in secondary and senior secondary school, Mr. Mahajan, there is one very interesting question, and I would like to ask attendees also, that most of the teachers have one very interesting thing in their mind, that I have to make a wonderful question paper. And a great question paper is such that in that question paper, there should be at least 1 or 2 questions which no child is able to answer. Then they think, I have won. I have won because I have made a wonderful question paper. So if attendees, do you agree that question paper should be such in which 1 or 2 questions should be of that level that nobody can answer is good, or the question paper should be such in which everybody can answer is good? So if you think no, then yeah, very nice. So Teresa ma'am has written, no, I don't agree. Arogya Reddy sir, another principal. There are so many principals from Middle East sir in this. Very nice. So everybody agreed. Now, second question to attendees, and this is very interesting question. The A is, if you think that the purpose of examination is that what child does not know, then you will write A. And B, if you want to know how much child know, then write B. And same thing is for interview also. In any interview, you are asking question and your purpose is to know that what person is not knowing, then A, and how much person is knowing is B. Very nice. Sir, you have made this group wonderful. Dr. Gulshan, everybody is writing B. Salute to all of you. So great. So, but please remember, whatever you have written, practice also. There are few teachers who would be making question papers for class 9th, 10th, 8th. Please practice also and tell others also to try to make certain kind of question paper where you want to know from the child how much he knows or she knows, not like how much they or what they don't know. So there is a positive and growth mindset in this, that how to proceed further. So I'm asking you very interesting question, Mr. Mahajan. This making this school education or increasing the whole time of school education with 2 years. This question I'm going to ask various bureaucrats also. I've already asked one. How it is useful, that should be, that is very diplomatic kind of question. So not necessarily you answer that. But yes, in secondary and senior secondary, where government is telling that there will be no such kind of fragmentation of compartment of that science, commerce and humanities, and a child can take physics, business studies and history. How this particular kind of combination will be useful, or will it be certainly practical?
Yeah. So combining 9, 10th, 11, 12th and interdisciplinary approach, physics with economics, chemistry with accountancy, bio with music, dancing with entrepreneurship. See, ultimately, we have to give the ownership to the child. So enhancing from 10+2 to 9, 10th, 11th and 12th, 4 years, it will be certainly useful, and it will ensure the sustainable academic development within the child if the autonomy and ownership is given to the child. That is one thing. Second thing, they have introduced a credit bank of the score. So your credit will be carry forwarded. So the credit from 9 standard to 12 standard, because see, learning is a very complicated process. And being an educator, we don't have any magical stick that will rotate and the learning will happen. No, not at all. Every child is unique. Every child has its own pace and speed. And there is a lot of diversification in that. In the 9 standard, the child is good at logical thinking. Maybe that logical thinking he wanted to utilize to explore the economics. So if that option has been given, that logical thinking will be utilized in the economics, and the process of arrangement, crystal structure, BCC, SCC, he can utilize that to find out and to explore what is happening in our human body. So such type of combination definitely will be helping to the child. That is one thing. That credit bank will ensure that how the growth of the child is going on and in what area the child is developing and in what area the child is good. In another word, in the diplomatic way, I can answer that thing. Yes, that credit bank and that 4-year span will tell us which subjects make the child happy learner, which we could not find out in 10th and 12th, because that is, they have to prepare and they have to score and they have to get a marks. Now for that process, if we have to find out that which subject or which track or which aspects makes the child happy learner, for that assessment should be like that. Formative or summative assessment will not serve that purpose. For that, assessment as learning and assessment in learning, project-based learning, research-based learning, that age should be given.
And assessment.
No doubt. The question paper should be in such a manner that the child should be challenged. The child should think, yeah, where the things are going wrong. More weightage should be given to the open-ended question. Nothing is wrong and nothing is correct. Give your opinion. Like IIT and IIMs, what they are doing, they are studying them with the case studies. Nothing is wrong and nothing is correct. But what is your approach? In a lot of interviews and all, they find out when the tough time is there, how you have survived. That is the real learning. Now in the pandemic situation, our teachers are doing wonderful job. That is the main learning. SWOT analysis we learned, but now we are converting the threats into opportunities because of the pandemic.
But Mahajan sir, here I will just stop you. Yeah. So will we wait for the next pandemic to learn more, or we should make...
No, that only I am telling. We should not wait for anything. We should start utilizing that 4 years in that way. We should modify the assessment process of ours, come out of that the formative and the summative, and use the assessment as learning, assessment in learning, give the ownership, and the examination style should be in such a manner that give that opportunity to the child. When he is ready to get examined, examine him. When the child says, yes, now I am prepared for physics, yes, she should be given that opportunity. So that flexibility, not only in the operation, not only in the teaching, but in the assessment process also has to be there. Question paper style should be in such a manner that the child should be challenged, as well as the child should give the original thought process. Now it is very easy to say that we are shifting from the memory based or from the mugging up concept to the application level. When if the nature of the question is like that, like I am reminded of that, I was there in Mumbai heading one of the Cambridge school. In that, the teacher has asked one question. The child was in 3rd standard. Who gives you milk? He has answered, Ramu Kaka gives me milk. Because see, the background was like that. So cow gives the milk, we have to take them closer to the cow. We have to tell them the importance of that. So actually that is experiential learning. And the teacher has given 0 marks and the parent has come, sir, what's wrong in it? Nothing wrong in it. That question was wrong. That assessment process was wrong. So we have to set the question paper for that 9, 10th, 11th, 12th in such a manner that the child should be challenged, child should ensure the learning, and child should enjoy that question paper. And then only we can say the graded enhancement will happen in the learning process.
Yeah,
that way, that 4 years will be useful.
Yeah, there is one more thing here. Yeah. And I will take the opinion of Palaniswamy ji also on this. That you know what is happening right now, that child has been told to concentrate more on the end of term examination, means summative examination.
Yes.
And that force child to learn and mug up.
Yes.
And I was totally against that. And every time I said that the formative assessment or a semester system in schools and colleges is also essential. And in NEP, there is
that scope is there.
such kind of provision that in school education also, there is a possibility. I can't say until and unless the proper curriculum framework come, but do you welcome this? Just answer in yes or no. Then I will proceed further. Mahajan sir.
Yeah, it is. It has to be there. Not only yes, it has to be there compulsorily if we have to take the child's score, credit score in a upward direction. If not, then that they will be mugging and omitting in the examination. That should not be there.
Palaniswamy, what is your opinion? Unmute, sir. Yeah.
I fully agree with Mr. Pramod Mahajan, no doubt about it. But when it is put into practice, there are a lot of challenges in front of us. It is not the child is ready for anything. Child is ready to answer any examination, any form of question, or any form of testing, no issues at all with the child, because the child's mindset is, if you make the child to by heart, the child will by heart, because after all, finally it comes, main focus is on the scores, that is number. That decides the future of the child. That decides the future of the child. And therefore, as long as you decide the child's performance by a number, which is called as mark, definitely we will be failing in our all these experiments.
Very true.
So therefore, basically where we have to work on is that there should be methods and modes to grade the learning level of a child instead of marks with something else.
I know that.
Let us experiment on what is that something else.
That in NEP, they have made a provision that for college admissions or university admission, there will be a separate test which will be conducted by NTA, like engineering and NEET examinations. They will conduct a simple examinations like CAT examinations are happening. So many.
Yes.
So conduct, that is good. My bigger question will come, but before that, let me take one poll over here. See, so now in total education, when the child will graduate, has moved from 19 years to 21 years. Maybe keeping this in mind that the male members of the society or the gentleman, he will acquire the age of 21 and will be able to get married. So let us educate him for the complete 21 years instead of 19 years. Maybe this would be the thinking in the mind. But yeah, making it 2 years more. Let me take a kind of opinion of the attendees. How many of you think that increasing this number is always helpful, is correct, or should be reconsidered? Attendees. Attendees are thinking whether we should write correct or reconsider. Good. BC Sharma, he has written reconsider. Shaukat Ali, he has said correct. Reconsidered. Yeah, so very simple thought behind was something else. But now I will ask you very interesting questions to both of you. And first I will ask Palaniswamy to answer. See, I have seen in elite schools that there are few children who come from, the great big business families. And they come to school. And when they don't do good in academics, like in sciences and mathematics, so they answer always that we have come, or their parents answer, no problem, sir, no problem. If he is not doing good in studies, is no problem, just let him pass. We have sent him in school to socialize, to understand and to know social skills only. Otherwise, he is going to take up the business. Now, there is a very, very interesting, school of thought. And that school of thought says that any country and every country, in every education policy, there should be one particular kind of a stream in which child is taught only skills. Now, there are certain kind of examples. And I was going through one video where one person said, whatever you have learned in life, most of these 80 to 90% of those things were never used in life.
Yes.
Whether you are thinking of A plus B whole square, or you are thinking of Pythagoras theorem, or you are thinking certain kind of experiments, so how to make oxygen or carbon dioxide and this thing and that thing. This was never helped. So why should they prepare one curriculum which is skill based, and those people who want to go certainly in one particular field start acquiring skills right from class 6 onwards and do great. There had been example of Einstein. There is an example of Jobs. There is example of Edison. There is example of so many businessmen in India, particularly Marwaris. They were not, few of the Marwaris in the beginning, they were not very good. They were very good in mathematics and calculations, and that's why they were the great big business houses they made. So do you think that instead of going into special subjects, and I'm opening this very interesting Pandora box to think, and I've written a letter to NCERT also, so think about it, that those kind of students and people who wants to go in one particular line and they decide right from class 5, 6, why a child who wants to become a scientist should be taught some other things which are not that much useful to him. And please remember, if you are telling about history, then history mostly is written by the winners. So history is written by the winners, so history is not correct always. History is influenced by the people. It is like the past which is being written by the present. Means those people who are not the part of history is writing the history. So there are certain kind of things. So I would like to ask, how can we include this particular aspect, that why I'm saying that nobody knows in 2030 what kind of occupations will be there, what kind of machines will be there. Nobody know what kind of cars will be there, whether the car will still run by petrol, or there will be batteries, or there will be electricity or water or something else. So child should know a basic skill of learning and adaptability and continuous upgradation. So Palaniswamy, your thought, and this is a kind of a, what you can say, a krantikari thought.
Yeah. Thank you very much for asking me to initialize such an open-ended question. No issue about it. Now, first I'll answer the question of the children from top cream or whatever, maybe children from some affluent families not showing interest in all these formal educational practices. That's what you meant, right? Okay. Now, sir, actually, every normal child is curious to learn. Is curious to learn something or the other. So it is the system that stops the curiosity of the child who is interested to learn something and puts the child in a place where the child is identified as a rebel of the formal system. So therefore, what I strongly believe is that there should be a counseling kind of thing straight from the early childhood to put in the child's mind that anything learned is not wasted. As you rightly said, yes, a child may not be knowing where the Pythagoras theorem is used. Whose wrong mistake is that? It's the mistake of the system which did not tell the child the Pythagoras theorem is used in practice in such places. If you know the height of this one, and if you know the elevation, you will be able to find the distance between these two. Who told that a plus b whole square is not applied in daily life? So therefore, what I meant to say is, we have to, that is where Mr. Mahajan was telling in the preparatory stage. In the preparatory stage, we have to educate the child, inculcate in the child that any knowledge that is been instilled in the child, any skill that is developed by the child will never go waste. So in that case, this kind of issues will not crop. That is point number one. Point number two, when a child is pushed to such a pathetic condition that the child is not interested to learn anything and the system doesn't allow anything for the child to learn. So in these cases, it is not, I'm sorry to say that, my humble submission is that through the psychological process, counseling the child when a child is deviating from the normal routine can be brought back to the normal system. Child has to understand that child cannot get anything and everything that the child wants the way he wants. The entire education lies in putting the child in the right direction to go the right way.
No,
If
no,
this value is inculcated in the child, these problems definitely will sustain anymore.
yeah,
Thank you.
my question is that instead of going into detail in education, that outcome-based education we are working,
Yeah.
if we take that skill-based education where everywhere we teach, every level we teach, and we really try to emphasize on the skills, because the skills, whatever he has learned will be useful throughout his life, isn't it?
Yes.
So that was the particular criteria of learning process, how we go, and in future also you
Yeah.
continue to
Yeah.
learn continuously.
Yeah, that's what I conveyed in my answer.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got it. So basically you are telling same thing in a different way, that now the bigger challenge is to the curriculum people who are making the curriculum. So Mr. Mahajan,
Yeah.
what kind of suggestion you give to the curriculum committee who is making the NCF,
Yeah.
particularly when they are moving to decide, because there are few children, certainly mathematics teaches us a skill. There are certain kind of subjects, all different kind of subjects teaches a different kind of a skill. But there is, as I said, there is a school of thought who tells that why a child is under burden of mathematics till class 9th, 10th, and he has a crucial years under pressure for 6, 7, 8 years. And then after class 10th, he is released from the pressure. So what do you think that, how to deal with this particular problem?
See, in that process, let me tell you one thing, mathematics from 6th standard to 12th standard. Okay, that mathematics he may forget. That mathematical application he may forget, but the skill of logical consistency will be developed within him, and that skill will be keeping him the lifelong learner. I very specifically, I want to tell you one particular example. Our fighter pilot Abhinandan. It is not the aircraft with which he was fighting or the flying. It is his skill. If that time he should have applied that thing, what will be the parabolic motion and all. So he should have not done that thing. He did that thing because his skill was developed. So you have to teach the subject in such a manner that mathematics is mean for logical consistency. Languages are mean for the linguistic depth. He should understand what's the body language of a person. If somebody is opening the mouth, should understand that is the linguistic depth. So that should be there. Now, whatever language you take, whatever course you take, now I'm very bluntly telling whatever I have learned in MSc, now that is in 10th and 11th standard. It doesn't mean that I have wasted my MSc physics. No, not at all. I have sharpened my thought process. There is an enhancement in my thought process, and with that thought process, I can even challenge with respect to physics to a child who is doing the PhD. So that is more important, that scientific temperament which the child has learned during that 7, 8 years, that will take the child life at the next stage. So that is more important. So I have, Sharma ji, I have already written a letter to NCRT 4 months before. If mathematics, if you have to reframe it, reframe in such a manner that logical consistency should be mastered.
Correct. So that only I wanted to ask.
Scientific temperament should be within. The child should see, yeah, this is means temperature change is happening, evaporation is happening. He may forget the definition of evaporation. 2 plus 2 is always 4, but why it is less than 5 and why it is less than more than 3, that is more important. If that quantitative analysis, if that quantum mechanics he understood, that is more important. Now, whatever in engineering you are teaching them when the child is in first year, second year, when the child passed out, that technology is outdated. It doesn't mean that it is a wastage. We have to give the line of action in such a manner that with the base of that knowledge, the child can develop the machine which yet to be come into the existence. Means what? Within these 7-8 years, we have to provide the platform of the thought process on which the child will jump in such a manner that even the sky is not the limit. That is my to the point answer for that question.
That is what I wanted to get from you, that the basic idea of the whole curriculum should be of teaching skills, not the content.
Not the content.
The content which is there for many, many years, not necessarily is developing logic.
Content is a media.
Subject.
Content is a process, but the product is skill.
In every subject, you will find that there is certain kind of content which has become obsolete.
Absolutely. Yes.
That is, you have said very nicely that whatever you were studying in, the MSc is now in class 10. So same way, in 5 years, when the universities will be taking all the inputs from industries, that what is the latest requirement, and they will change their curriculum. Similarly, in the backward linkages, the curriculum mapping should be done at the level of secondary as well as primary level. But most important thing which has come out from with the discussion of both of you, that right from foundation level to the preparatory level and middle level, there should be learning of certain kind of skills. And these skills include two kind of skills. One is life skill, one is soft skill. We are taking care of left brain, right brain. You have said very clearly, very correctly about the languages and other kind of things, craft, art, everything is important. And now the integration of various things in different kind of education is required. Like right now we are talking about art integration.
Yes.
We are talking about physical education integration. There are many things which are also to be integrated. And I'm asking you very interesting question that I asked this in in one of the webinar before also, that in school we have all subject classes, all subject curriculum, this. Do we have curriculum for value education? Do we have curriculum for certain kind of things on a prescribed book? The simple thing is that it is very important right now and nowadays that we first of all try to join with parents. First of all, in the beginning, there should be proper mentoring of parents. So the child learns certain kind of values from home, and parents know that whatever we are doing, it is being reflected by the child, and child is learning. And then we can have value integration in all subjects.
Yeah.
I think it is very important that we integrate values in all subjects. Then if we can prepare good global citizens who are good human beings also, then the purpose of education is served. And we will know that even if a child who is class 10th passed out or class 12th passed out or graduate, all of them will be confident. They will not have the inferiority complex. They will get into the jobs of their liking, and not necessarily that a postgraduate will be more successful than a graduate. There are so many such kind of circumstances where people did great things because of their value system and the skills they learned. So my last question to both of you, first I will ask from Palaniswamy ji, that Mr. Palaniswamy, there is very important thought about one thing, that when we are talking about assessment, and we are talking about assessment, that we are doing formative assessment, and formative assessment had been very good because this is a diagnostic process. Like any child is going through one particular progression, then we should know at every level that how much progression has taken place and what remediation is to be done. It is very good. And it was there in CCE also. Now, the most important challenge for this education system will be how to reach out to the last teacher and the last student in the country who are not aware of these kind of equipments or these kind of instruments which are to be used for formative assessment. Because 80% of the schools during CCE were giving certain kind of questions for formative assessment, which were given any kind of test, but that was not for diagnostic process. To reach out how this challenge can be met out, Palaniswamy ji, and what suggestion you would give? Yeah, unmute, please.
Unmute, sir.
Thank you, sir. Again, this question definitely needs a lot of thought process. Actually, the system has evolved to such an extent that
I will stop you because I will ask one more question which you will answer because that is one line question.
Yeah.
When we are thinking of making the education at the core subject of our constitution and core subject of our democracy, and we are telling the teacher to get 4 years, means by 2030 the 4 years integrated B.Ed.
yeah,
Like other countries, should they not be paid off very well? Then only we will have the geniuses. Every child is genius. All the geniuses coming into teaching education, teaching profession. Otherwise, right now, what is the situation? Unfortunately, for many of them, this is the last resort. After graduation or post-graduation, they think, okay, we will go for the B.Ed. Yeah, please, for both the questions.
okay. Now I'll answer the first question because, second question because I'm from Regional Institute of Education, Mysore, where I've seen this 4-year integrated course, the success of it. And also, I've seen almost 100% of the products from Regional Institute of Education with 4-year integrated course are very, very successful in teaching. The reason is that, you see, this teaching capabilities, the teaching skills are inbuilt in the course itself, which runs over 4 years and which integrates the mainstream of subject with the core competencies of teaching. So therefore, definitely that has a very high impact on the output. So therefore, I strongly feel that definitely this course is opted by those who are really willing to come for teaching.
They should be
It's
paid
not
well.
by compulsion they are going to take that course. So therefore, when a candidate opts for teaching, that 4-year integrated course definitely will enhance and sharpen the teaching skills of the candidate. And therefore, I strongly recommend that with the conviction of experiencing and part of that curriculum, I strongly believe that that will be the best suggestion to create better teachers. Okay, then coming to the first question. The first question is that, yes, I was talking about, yes, first of all, I'm sorry to say this, yes, how many of us understood the difference between formative assessment and summative assessment when we were asked to do it? It's a question, it's a way, I'm asking a very frank question. And,
That's why I'm asking
and therefore, where it lies means, first of all, any assessment system, let it be formative or summative, whatever it may be, it has to be thoroughly understood by the teachers handling it. An instrument is, a knife is given to an individual to cut a fruit, but it can cut the finger also. So therefore, what I mean to say is, yes, it is the responsibility of the person handling that knife to educate that this knife is used to cut the fruit, not to create a wound in the hand. So therefore, it is the system that has to be very, very, very clearly explained to the stakeholders with the purpose for which it has been introduced.
Yeah,
therefore, I'm coming to that. Therefore,
I asked you only because of I was knowing that you have done it from Regional College Mysore.
So therefore, what I suggest is that
if I get to know that any teacher is from any regional institute, I take them blindly. Yes, conduct the interview, but 100% they will be very good.
Because they are all well trained.
Correct.
They are all well trained and they have undergone all the trainings that are required to become a teacher.
I will come back to you again.
Yes, so, sir, let me wind up the answer for the first question. So therefore, it is the system that should take care of creating awareness about the assessment scheme, not only to the teachers and also to the parents and the children.
Correct. So Mahajan sir, he said regional colleges education is amazing and 4 years B.Ed degree is very good. But most important thing is that there are few teachers, there are few students who are very much dedicated in teaching profession.
Yes.
But how to attract the most genius people in this particular field of teaching, because they will be the foundation of this country in coming years.
Yeah. The solution, the answer of this question is the Finland model. Highest paid to the teachers, highest respect to the teacher, full autonomy to the teacher. There is no publisher there. There is no curriculum there. There is no textbook there. The maths teacher has to develop the complete curriculum, has to develop the system. I am a little bit differing with Mr. Palaniswamy that who will create that system? It is me. Who it is as a teacher, we have to create that system and we have to keep that system and process it in place. So that is more important. Now, assessment, there are people who are telling, in the rural areas that is not possible because instruments are not there, technology is not there. Who says the technology is required for the assessment? I will tell you one example. I was the physics teacher. I was teaching inertia to the students, and one day the students said, sir, we literally didn't understand the inertia, what you have told in that 45 minutes. Then I thought, what is the way? And that was in a very rural area. So what was the way? Then I met one of my friend. He is 8th standard fail. I explained him inertia. He has wrote a 6-line poem on that, and he said, next day you go and you recite this poem in front of them. When I recite that poem, they understood that thing. See, now where is the technology? Nothing. It's the way you are explaining. It's the way you are going to that level, to their level. Then the assessment will by default happen. In the pandemic situation, my teachers, 9th, 10th standard teachers, they have given one assessment without using anything. They have given one challenge to a student in a 5 different way. One assessment that the coronavirus is talking to the earth. That's all. Coronavirus is talking to the earth. Now this is the examination for you. Some student of that particular class sketch one picture. Some of them has written a newspaper ad. Yes, coronavirus is talking to the what coronavirus will talk and what the earth will give the answer. Some of them have written a poem on that, and one group of students have made a drama on that. And now what assessment is required beyond that? And they taught us what the coronavirus is, what is the weight of the coronavirus, what is the characteristic of the coronavirus, and how you can protect yourself using the nature from the coronavirus. So that was a learning for us. That is the assessment, and that system was developed by whom? By the teachers. That is their thought process. But the thought process will come when their well-being is being ensured. And what is the well-being? Mental peace. And when the mental peace will come, no doubt money is not everything, but money is something at a large extent. They should be paid well, they should be respected, they should be given the full autonomy. Then you see creativity, innovative techniques, everything will be developed. You expect the innovation and the creativity, and the child, the teacher has to pay the fees of the child. Then there was a big question mark. So Finland model is very suitable for that. And the system should be developed by the teachers, should be practiced by the teacher. And then the assessment, whether it is formative, whether it is summative, no, technology is important, but technology is not the only way for the assessment. So that is my.
I have a small point to add here. Just 1 minute I'll take. Now, when I meant the system, teacher is a part of it, parent is a part of it, management is a part of it, and the whole, sometimes this community itself is a part of it. Now, let me quote a small example. A child is excellent child, 20 out of 20 in the internal assessment of all the subjects. In language, he got 19 out of 20. It is assessment and the by the parent to the school. We analyzed, we found that the child is excellent in everything, but the child is having an issue in pronunciation and reciting. So therefore, the teacher correctly assessed the problem of the child, reduced 1 mark and indicated that your child has a problem. But the teacher was taken into a task asking that my child got 20 out of 20 in all the internal assessments. Why 19 out of 20? That means the teacher is prejudiced. But it was proved. Then we, to justify, we called the child and asked the same poem to recite her to recite, and 3 more teachers have evaluated it, and it was found that the child has an issue. So therefore, the purpose of this internal assessment, some formative assessment, is to find out the difficulties of the child to enhance the learning. But the parent could not take it. So therefore, that is what I meant. Parent as a part of the system has to understand the meaning of this formative.
Palaniswamy, that's why.
According to me, sir, 1 minute. According to me,
in the beginning, I said that first we have to educate our parents also.
Parents, yeah.
Exactly.
Orientation sessions of parents. Thank you very much. And Mahajan sir has told very correctly, and he also advocated my thing that yes, there should be attractive salaries, and it should be earned. It should be not asked. They will automatically earn when they will certainly produce greater quality of and good quality of education. And it is not like a city and village. There are villages from where brilliant students are coming. They are doing great.
Rather than more are coming from that area.
Exactly. So it is how you move towards them and how you educate them. There are brilliant teachers I've seen on various media. They are doing amazing work. Only thing is we have to express our gratitude to them, and of course this recognition, and it will move to every level. Only will. If there is a will, there is a way. Now, if there was a pressure, there is a way. Same, there is a will, there is a way, only will. And how the will? With incentives. Incentives, certainly government will be thinking, there is no doubt. So, Dr. Gulshan ji, it's over from us. Thank you very much. It was amazing. And my thank you, my gratitude to all the attendees. You were truly active throughout. I can see that continuously you were commenting on every aspect and every deliberation which was going on. A big salute to all of you. Like always, you had been the source of inspiration and the energy which we receive, and we continuously discuss certain kind of things which are out of context. Nobody discuss, but we discuss those things to analyze and energize and to give some kind of light to those areas which can be overseen or which are not seen in certain kind of policies. Over to you.
Sir, 1 minute before that.
Yes.
This 2020 marks, 100% marks given, it is hammering to my brain. Actually, that 19 marks given is the correct assessment, and that 2020, those teachers should be taken at the task, because giving 100%, you are stopping the process of the betterment of a child.
You are telling child that you are perfect.
You are perfect. You are stopping the betterment of learning is the process of betterment. And if you have make the child best, everything has gone. So that 19 mark is a scope is there. So I salute that teacher who has given the 19 marks, but those teachers are at fault who have given 20 out of 20.
No, this whole thing has changed. That system has become like this. See,
now NEP is giving the scope to change that.
Yeah, in class 10th, 12th, we used to get hardly 60% and 58% was good second division. Distinction was amazing. 75% means amazing. पूरा मोहल्ले को मिठाई बांट देते थे 75%.
62% district topper sitting in front of you. 62% district topper.
Yeah.
60 marks in English, university topper in English. BSc final year. English, I got only 60 marks. I was the university topper in that particular subject. So, and now 100 marks is nothing. So that track has to be modified.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Wonderful deliberations, and the last sentence which Anand Prakash ji mentioned: where there is a will, there is a way, and where there is a way, there is an incentive, and where there is an incentive, the people will follow. And when he was talking about we need good teachers, we need dedicated teachers, but yes, the Finland example also, which Pramod ji told me. I spent about 3.5 months over there, and I still recollect, when you respect teachers, when you give their dues to them, when you honor them, and when they feel important, and they need not to worry about the ration, what would be happening, happening at home, getting 8,000 rupees and ad hoc for 89 days. How that teacher can deliver, it is humanly not possible. So, ladies and gentlemen, our deepest regards and gratitudes and thanks. Anand Prakash ji, Anandi Anand, Prakash ji Prakash. I would remove Sharma ji, because the thing is, let me make you popular in Middle East like Anand Prakash ji, because that
He's already popular, sir. He's already popular.
because you bring such a wonderful deliberations, and there was so much. I've taken each and every note. I've taken, like a good student, I've taken all the notes, and you will be able to see within the next half an hour on the YouTube. If you go on Dr. Gulshan Sharma's page, it will be loaded on the YouTube, all the deliberations of today. So, ladies and gentlemen, first of all, my deep gratitudes and thanks to these three celebrities, these three warriors, and these three veterans. They deliberated so well, so much, so good with all of us. And at the same time, you all are such a wonderful audience. The parents, those joined us, the youth, the students, and my children and grandchildren who joined us from the Middle East, and rest of the part, all my brothers and sisters, I salute you. My deepest regards and thanks to each one of you. Stay safe, stay happy. But before we close the session, there are 6 girls waiting from the northeast part of India. And let me quickly see, where are they? Thingba, can you come, child? Thingba. Good evening, Thingba. How are you? Your voice is not coming. Voice, take your mic near. Take your mic near.
I'm good, sir. I'm good.
Yeah,
Sir.
put your mic further near, further near, further near.
So can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, now it's better. Take it further near, because so that your voice goes clear to the world. You are the celebrity
Okay,
from
sir.
northeast part of India. And we extend you a very hearty welcome. Child, what are you doing?
I'm just attending this webinar right now.
No, you are attending the webinar.
Question. It's a question.
The question. Are you studying in the school or college?
Oh, yeah. I'm currently in 12th grade.
You are?
12th grade, in 12th grade.
You're in 12th class. Okay. Oh,
Yes.
school. So
Good,
all
good.
three relevant teachers today. Very good. Okay. So whatever you heard, all three of them, what would you like to tell? They were talking about the new education policy, where the art, commerce, science, and they talked about formative years, and they talked about couple of course, they didn't talk about the free breakfast and the free lunch. That was also to be talked about. Okay. So what are your views? Are you happy with the new education policy?
Well, sir, I am quite happy about it because my juniors would have access to many benefits. But one thing I would like to highlight is that in India, sex education is really important. So if sex education is introduced in this new policy, I think there won't be any violence against women in our future. That's one thing I really think about.
Sex education should also be a part
Very good. Wonderful.
Okay. Good suggestion, child. God bless you. And I pray to Almighty for all the good days for you, your family, your brothers, sisters, neighbors, relatives, everybody. Okay, let's just see who's the next child. Rama, are you there? Rama, are you there? Oh,
yes, sir.
I think Thingba, you are here. Thingba, good evening.
Rama is there.
Thingba.
Sir?
No, beta. I was taking another girl.
Rama.
Where is she? Was there.
Rama is here.
Rama is here.
Time. Yeah.
Yes, Rama. Where are you?
She's there.
Here, sir.
Yes, Rama. Yes. Good evening, child. How are you?
Yes, sir. I'm fine, sir.
I hope you enjoyed the session.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So what are you doing? My question should be correct. Are you in school or college?
I'm in school. I'm in 12th grade.
You are?
12th grade, 12th class.
Oh, you're 12th
I'm studying in 12th class.
You're studying or you're past 12th?
I'm studying.
You're studying. Okay, you're in 12th class. Okay. Are you happy with the new education policy?
I'm okay with it.
Okay, you're okay with it. Okay. What would you like to tell all the girls world over? What would you like to tell?
I would I would like to say that
Yes.
it's in every woman in this world are with the same power, with the same strength, and they are in the same world. So the society should give the opportunity to build their capability so that they could shine their powerful, they could shine their powerful, strong, and capable to all the world.
Okay. Strong, capable, powerful. Okay. And everybody should get the equal opportunity. Good.
Yes.
Very good. Do we have this child? Laitonja, are you there? Laitonja.
Yes, sir, I'm there.
Good evening, my child. How are you, beta?
I'm fine, sir. Good evening.
Okay, good. Your mama, papa, brother, sister, all are fine?
Yeah, they all are
Okay, my question should be correct. Are you in school or in college?
studying in 12th standard in Arkisna Tombi Devi Vidyalaya.
Okay, you're studying in 12th. And what is your stream? Art, commerce, or science?
Arts, sir.
You're studying arts. Okay. What are your
Yeah.
hobbies?
Like my hobbies are like sewing, and now I'm making marks for my family.
Ah, what message would you like to tell all the girl world over, beta? What would you like to
But
tell all the girl child?
I would like to tell all the girls, child, that focus on who and what is important in their life, do the things that they want to do, keep following their dreams, and do not even give up on their goals. That's all, sir.
Don't give up unless you achieve your goal. Wow, that's great. God bless you. And do
Yes,
we
sir.
have Kumbong? Kumbong, are you there? Kumbong.
Yes, sir, I'm here.
Good evening, my child. How are you, beta?
Good evening, sir. I'm fine.
I'm so happy to see children from northeast part of India. It's such a beautiful place. Which part are you from? Which part of
Manipur.
northeast? Manipur. Okay, Manipur. Manipur has got a beautiful black rice, which is very good for arthritis, rheumatics, and all other pains. And it also has got Loktak Lake, which has got beautiful floating islands. And it also goes in the history of India because Subhash Chandra Bose ji is associated with Manipur. Are you a proud girl from Manipur?
I'm a proud girl.
You love, yes. Okay. And are you studying in school or college?
I'm in school. I'm in class 12.
Okay, class 12. And what subject are you, arts or commerce or science? Sorry?
Arts.
Arts. Okay. What are your hobbies, beta? What are your hobbies?
I love gardening.
Gardening. Oh, wow. Okay. Anything else?
Animes.
Okay. What message would you like to give to all girls world over from the northeast part of India? What message would you like to give?
Be strong. Be
Bring
confident.
your mic near. Bring your mic near.
Be strong. Be confident. And be educated. Because in like North India, or especially in Delhi, there's many discrimination on Northeast girl. So we should be like strong and be confident and face all the problems with confidence.
Somebody has told you wrongly. I am from North India. I am from Delhi. You're my daughter and you're my granddaughter. Don't worry on that. Everybody Everybody is good. Somebody has given you a wrong thing. There's no discrimination. Don't worry. Okay. Be happy and smile. Be happy. Yes. That's great. That's great. And are you there? Are
Yeah.
you there, my child? Nagasepa, are you there? Nagasepa, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Ah, child, where are you? I just lost you. I just got you. Yes, Nagasepa. Uh, you are in school or you're in college?
Sir, I'm in 12th standard.
You are in 12th standard. Okay. Are you happy, child?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Today you heard three strong principles and they gave a lot of ideas on the new education policy. So,
Yes, sir.
so what do you think the new education policy which is coming?
Sir, it's a good initiative taken towards. So I'm happy about it, sir.
You're happy about it. Okay. And what message would you like to give to all the girls world over?
Sir, so to all the women out there, we should enjoy our we should enjoy the benefits that we get from any resources or assets, like even our own income. So and yeah, we should overcome our risk so that we can improve ourselves. So like we should be strong enough, and
We
we
should be
should not feel
strong.
inferior to men. So
We should not feel inferior to men. No, you are not at all inferior. You're such a
yeah,
good,
sir.
such a bright child. I clap for you. I clap for you. Such a
Thank
good
you, sir.
child. God bless you. God bless you. So, AP Sharma ji, thank you very much. I'm grateful to your entire team. Such a wonderful
Where is
evening
that?
for all of us.
One
And
is left.
yes.
One Ria is remaining, I think.
Oh, where is Ria? Where is Ria? Where is Ria? Ria, where are you?
Please come on screen. Yeah, she is now here.
Ria, are you there?
Yes, sir, I'm here.
Oh, good evening. See, you are
Good evening, sir.
sure by me because I'm getting old now. Ah, okay. As a grandfather, I missed you. Yes. Okay. Ria, what would you like to tell all the children world over, beta?
To all the children and especially to girl child, I want to give a message that girls are often not encouraged and acknowledged of their successes or achievement. So I feel that they should not feel bad for not being encouraged by the people around them, and be proud of themselves and love themselves. That's all.
Wow, that's great. That's a very strong and a wonderful message. God bless you, child. God bless you. Thank you very
Thank you, sir.
much. Thanks a
Thank you,
lot.
sir.
And we pray to
Thank you.
Almighty all the good days for all of you. And thank you very much, Anand Prakash Sharma ji. Thank you very much, Pramod Mahajan ji. Thanks for coming this evening. And thank
Our
you,
pleasure.
my Palaniswamy ji. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot. And
Very
wish you all
nice.
a great, great evening. And I'm grateful to everybody world over, those who have joined this particular program. Thank you. And look forward meeting all of you tomorrow morning, 9:30. Buddham Saranam Gacchami.